What does a typical day in your life look like?
It's so sunny today! Today is my meeting with Chehak and I am excited, but first I have to go through today at school. I'll show you some cherry blossoms later.
What does life at campus look like these days?
Therapy dogs. But yeah, if you're ever interested.
Cherry blossoms! Alright, I'm just coming from lunch and I'm on campus at the quad, and it looks like we have friends from global community already set up. What? That's awesome. Tell us your names.
Marina? And I'm Bronwyn.
I'm just going to my next class, my second class and last class of the day, 1:30 at the Fine Arts Building.
Good morning, everyone. It's a Wednesday morning here in Gurgaon, India, and that means that today's the day I get to have my weekly conversations with Annika, who is my conversation partner from UVic. So I stumbled across the program randomly one day when I was looking through the website, trying to find ways of connecting with the community even before I joined. I'm an incoming student for fall 2022, and I already have so many friends from UVic now. And the Conversation Partners program has given me one of my best friends, and her name is Annika. We will be speaking with her today, and you guys get to come along.
Yeah, so I was just curious that in Canadian culture, if you want to address somebody who is elder to you but is a stranger, so pick word that you use, or do you just simply use their name like Mr. X or Mr. Y? Because here in India, if say for example I'm visiting a friend and I have to address their mom or dad, I'd call them uncle and auntie. So it's not like a relation, but it's more of a something that I'd address them as.
It's definitely either Mr., Mrs., or even their first name if they introduce themselves, their first name.
So I think aunt and uncle is like a relation there, right? Like your mother's sister is your aunt.
Mother's sister is aunt, and then mom's brother would be uncle.
So here, anybody that we don't know is an auntie and an uncle.
Oh, so what about your, like, if it's your mom's sister, is it still auntie? or is it different?
It gets a little complicated here. So there is a different name for each of that relation. So my mom's sister is my masi, and then my dad's sister is my bua. So they're like specific names for those relations.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom's brother would be my mama.
Wow.
I think all brothers and sisters like of your parents would be like aunts and uncles. Here it's like specific names for each relation. I was just thinking about this in the morning and it came up.
That's like, it's smart to ask questions like that just to be like, I want to, be respectful and stuff, and I'm not sure what the norm and expectations are. Like for big family gatherings, is it usually have some sort of food aspect to it?
Here, if you invite somebody, it goes without saying that lunch will be prepared for everybody. So if somebody's come to my house at around 12 and they stayed till around 1 and they say that okay fine, now I think we should leave, we won't let them leave without having lunch. So it's
Oh.
sort of like that.
Let's say someone's coming over for lunch. How do you like greet them?
Traditionally it has to be a namaste, which is like you fold your hands and you say namaste. But over the years it has changed to like a hello, hi auntie, hi uncle kind of a thing. But yeah, traditionally it is supposed to be a namaste, which is like with both your hands. Yeah, because like in our culture, uh, there's a saying which is called Atithi Devo Bhava. That means guest is God. So when we visit our temples, the way we greet our gods is also with a namaste, and that is the same action that we use for our guests.
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
My family is more than excited that I'll be there, and they'll use it as an excuse to come there and visit me and the city moreover.
Yeah, of course. That's what my mom, she's like, now I have an excuse to go to Victoria because so many people like it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. And also I've told them so much about you, so I'm sure they're excited to meet you as well.
Oh, yay. Oh,
Already, like I start feeling like I'm part of the community.
I'm so glad.
And it's a really cool way, right? Like this is one of the first times I actually entered a program with the sole purpose of just conversing with somebody without it essentially being like a networking propaganda, just talking. And I've realized that random conversations are actually very powerful, because now after it's been what, I think 2 months only, or not even that much since we've been talking, and I already feel this bond. Like it's not just like we don't just speak on like weekly Zoom calls, right? We have text messages and stuff like that. And I actually talk to you like I would to any other person or any other friend, and it's not really in between the boundaries of like a uvic centered conversation or whatever. Now we're just friends, right? It started off as being a part of a program, but now we're just friends.
And I love how you brought that up because I think it's so nice to just be like, I can talk to my friend today. Like whenever we have meetings, I can say, finally, like at the end of the day, I can talk to you and stuff, and we can talk about fun things and things that aren't maybe like schoolwork or aren't like what we do our daily.
Yeah, that's
It can
true.
be like teaching each other what
Yeah.
happens around us, because it's so different for both of us, right?
We're not just bound by the program, but we actually want to talk, which is why we're talking.
Right.
And also it instills confidence, right?
Right.
Like now I know that when I come to Victoria, I'm not just coming to a foreign land, right? I know people there now. So it's an easier transition. And then there are a lot of coincidences that happen, right? Like for example, I told you that I'm scared of swimming and I'd like to learn, and then you happen to be a lifeguard, right? So things like that happen, and then you laugh over it later, but then in the beginning all of these things matter, right? Like one of my insecurities was swimming. I met somebody who's a lifeguard.
Right. Even at UVic, like we can go to the pool. And
so usually my mornings are for like working out a little bit, but then I skip that on Wednesday mornings and then have this conversation with you, because I guess it's either I'm working my body or I'm working my mind, right? So I laugh a lot when I talk to you, so that's like my morning workout for Wednesdays. I used to be a little skeptical about speaking with somebody who I know nothing about. Usually, we like to connect with people we have something common with, right? Like similar music interests, or we like the same food, we like the same person, I know, same celebrity crush or whatever. And then when I jumped into this, I knew for a fact that there'd be nothing similar. But then now I've realized that because there is nothing similar, there's a lot more to talk about.
And it's just like basic like conversation is exciting, and it's like I learn way more when I talk to you versus when I talk to someone who kind of is like more like me.
So also, there are a lot of things that we take for granted, right, with people that we know. Say, for example, greeting somebody. Like we have conversations around how to greet. You never have that kind of a conversation with somebody you know, right? Yeah, so it's like we're already planning stuff to do in Victoria before I'm there.
Yeah.
So that's like a positive incent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, in general, I've noticed that I'm not sure if it's true for Canada as well. Like the size of a typical pizza is way larger than what we have here. Our pizzas are like
Yeah.
8 inches, maybe 10 inches max. Yeah, and they're about this big. That's all.
Yeah.
And then over there, I remember when I visited, we bought one pizza and we had it for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There were 4 of us. I was like, what? Why is it so large here? But then that's why I think usually people buy like a piece of pizza rather than a pizza, like the entire thing. Because we're used to buying like one family, one pizza, you know, or maybe even more, like 2 pizzas per family. So we had that in mind when we bought that pizza, and then when it came, it was like this huge, and we're like, oh my god.
Yeah. So like social media has helped you then in like kind of getting to know Victoria from afar then?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've used a lot of platforms like that. Went on to LinkedIn and I searched for people who are already part of UVic. There are a lot of Facebook groups that help me connect to the global community as well as look for things like housing. I'd have to say the UVic website in itself.
It's so great how like social media and like technology can create more of like a community.
Yeah, it's a total game changer. Yeah, even YouTube for that matter. I think YouTube's a really good place to look at what others are sharing. I've seen a lot of YouTubers starting of their channel, the time when they first land in Canada or Victoria, and then that is like the first video on their channel.
Maybe you could do that too if you wanted. You could start your little YouTube life.
I have a budding YouTuber with me to guide me anyways. Hey Annika.
Hi. Of course. That would be so fun. Like we could make videos together. I really enjoyed our talk today. It was nice.
Sure, me too. Yeah, it's always a good way to start the day.
I just got off the phone with Chehak, and I'm just so grateful for our friendship. I'm so happy I can be friends with someone who is so far and still feel so close to them. And that just shows how, even if we're not close physically, I can still feel close emotionally. And I think that's a beautiful thing that humans have the capability to do, especially during COVID. And I think social media and technology has the potential to bring people together. And I think people should see technology as an opportunity to connect with others in different countries and learn from them. I'm really happy that we are a big part of each other's lives.
Alright, so I just got done with my weekly conversation with Annika, and if I had to express what I feel like immediately after that call in say 3 words, it would have to be positivity and happiness and of course gratitude. We're able to get a glimpse into each other's lives even though we're miles away and there's a time difference. It's Wednesday morning for me, Tuesday evening for her, but we're still able to connect, and that is something that the conversation program has offered us. Also, as an international student, I'm sure a lot of you would relate. We have this insecurity of being able to talk to people who are from different countries, different cultures, maybe even a different accent, and that initial hesitation limits us from doing a lot of things in the beginning. But with this program, I have been able to overcome that, move out of my comfort zone, also gain a great friend.
I've learned that it doesn't matter how far people can be for a connection to be made, and I've learned that excitement to hear about someone's day and talk to someone can go a long way, and hearing that someone's excited to talk to you is even more fulfilling. And I think that reciprocation of love and interest in one another through a friendship is just so rewarding and so exciting.
One thing I've learned from this program is the importance of building a community. Having that connect with students definitely adds more value to my entire experience. It makes me more comfortable. Another thing that I've learned is that there lies a lot of friendship in differences. From the very beginning, I'm sure a lot of us are used to making friends with people who have something common with us, common music interest or common food interest or something like that. But here, being thrown into the company of somebody who's completely different, I've realized how it is more interesting to have a conversation with somebody who has different views, different culture, and there is so much to learn and explore. And it enriches the entire experience of studying and growing at Rubik.